This video will take you through the steps of citing a World Book Encyclopedia Online article. So this is just for World Book that you would have gotten off our Research Tools page. We're going to assume you already have a project created. There's another video for how to create a new project. And so beginning right in this project, mine's called Sample Project, we are going to tell it exactly what type of source we're citing. In this case, we're going to start with database because World Book is a database. And then we'll click on Create Citation. They're going to ask us what type of database this is, what sort of things are in it. And because World Book is a little unusual, it's a little unique, they write all of their own articles. It's an online encyclopedia, and that's typical for online encyclopedias. We are going to choose this last option, original content, meaning they wrote it themselves. And here's the information we're going to want to fill in. On my other tab, I have a World Book article, and on this article, I have already scrolled down to the very bottom where there is a citation already there. That's where I'm going to get all the information I need for my citation in Noodle Tools. So going back to Noodle Tools, the first thing they're looking for is the name of the database. And if we look over here, the name of the database is typically going to be in italics. That's a good thing to look for in the citation. And this is, we use World Book Advanced. So I'm going to copy that and head over here and paste that in as the name of the database. The next piece of information we need is the database publisher, or the company that produces the database. This will typically be right after the name of the database. So the name is World Book Advanced. The name of the company that produces it is World Book. So we'll put that right in here. The most recent date of access is typically going to be a recent date. It's the day that you looked at it. In my case, I'm looking at the article today. The date of access is always going to be the last thing in a citation. So for me, it's 31 October 2012. And because that happens to be today, it already filled it in for me. The date of publication, if we go back to World Book, encyclopedia articles are not published on a specific day or month. They are just published annually by the year. So in the case of World Book, all the publication dates are going to be the current year. This is 2012. So we don't know the month, we don't know the day, so we leave those alone, but we do put in 2012 as the year of publication. URL is optional, and so we are not going to include the URL. Database URLs tend to be long and ugly, and we just don't want to go there. So scrolling down, next thing they want is the contributor or the author. With World Book, it's always going to be an author. We do have some other choices here, but World Book, we are given usually an author. Looking at the article, one of two things will be true. Either the first thing in our citation will either be an author's name, or if there's no name there, you would leave it blank. They don't always tell us the author's name. If yours begins with the title of the article in quotation marks and there's nothing before it, then it is they're not telling us the author, and you will leave it blank. In my case, I do have an author, William McKean. So I'm going to go back over here. His first name is William. No middle name is given. Sometimes a middle initial is given. And McKean. Once in a while, it will say PhD or something like that, but very rarely. So we usually don't have to fill in the suffix. And then the next thing they want is the actual title of the article. And here it is right here. Now notice one thing. They did not capitalize the second word in here. Based on the rules that we're using, we do want to capitalize all the important words in a title. The title is always going to appear between the quotation marks. So I'm going to move this over into World Book, but I have to do a little fix. I have to capitalize the second word. And you may have noticed this. They're suggesting, if you ever see the little triangle with the exclamation point come up, that's saying, hey, there's something wrong with this. And they're suggesting that it should be capitalized. So a little reminder there. And when I do that, the message goes away. Scrolling further down, we don't do anything with annotation. So we will keep going to the bottom, and we can leave this checked and just click Submit. Now this is going to generate our citation. Here it is. And this should look exactly like the one at the bottom of my article, with one exception, the capitalization of the word music. So if we look at this, and then we look at this, they do in fact match. And that's how you know you got it right in WorldBook.